One of the things I'm serious about in my 40s are my relationships. And one blog that I mentioned in the previous video is that I don't feel the need to be around people. Like, I enjoy being alone a little bit too much. Like, loneliness is not in itself a sufficient factor to motivate me to do more and find better relationships. Neither is the fact that lonely people quite often, I was reading documentation about it, like research, and every time it says, oh yes, you're going to die earlier because you don't have enough relationships. It's one thing that is always mentioned as a scary factor about health and mental health and in general, how long you can live. And somehow it still doesn't scare me enough. And I think it might be partially because I'm neurodivergent. So my brain is on the autism spectrum, which means that I feel okay being alone most of the time because a lot of relationships, lots of people can be sometimes, even distracting or can be too much stimulation. Even the good people, sometimes it's like, okay, I need some alone time to be in a good shape and be able to re-engage with the world and with the great people later on. But I feel this is something that is quite unique to my experience. A lot of people are more struggling with that, or they feel that it says something about them if they don't have enough friends or if there is not enough people around them. And I feel it's yeah, for me, it has become a little bit too natural. I would say it's kind of my normal state to be alone and to not talk to people for days in a row. It feels like it's actually too comfortable. And on the other side, there is also sometimes loneliness that is popping up, and sometimes it hits me really hard. Like it's like I don't know where it's coming from. It's just like something triggers it. Maybe it's just like some hormonal stuff up there, or like my brain did not get enough sugar or whatever it is. But sometimes I can really feel it very sharply, like it's part of my brain is just yeah, it's just feeling the weight of the world, or it's just like I wish somebody could just hug me right now so that the world can disappear and I forget that this all exists. I feel this is sometimes like a tough moment, maybe my brain is very exhausted, and it's just realizing it's more like existential loneliness that sometimes happen. I don't know if you can relate to that. It's just like it feels like, yeah, it feels like there is nobody to call, or there's just, it's like, oh, I could disappear tomorrow and nobody would care. And this is kind of a like very existential loneliness that sometimes happen, very rarely, but it can be there. It's always a good motivation. This one usually I'm thinking, maybe I should be going out there and work on some relationships. Sometimes it's more like the general being in the world. Sometimes for neurodivergent people particularly, it's quite common to feel that you are out of place. And because usually like neurodivergent people are very self-aware, or they're very aware that they don't function the same way that other people, I feel the brain is just facing reality. Like sometimes I feel like I'm too self-aware about what is happening. So I can see, that there are politics, or there are like social games and dynamics I don't want to play. They are like, I have a different questions in my head or different interests than the people my own age, and it feels like I'm not preoccupied by the same things than most people. So it's easy to feel like you are outside, even though you look like you are inside, but that you're actually yeah, on just looking in, but not being really somebody who belongs. I think it's quite a common experience as well, which I sometimes makes me feel lonely, but I also know where it's coming from. So this one is a little bit easier to manage. And I feel the thing that actually quite often make me feel lonelier than anything else is people and group of people. The loneliest I've ever felt in my life was never really on my own. It was usually around people. It has happened quite a few times. I had like sometimes like friends that I was close to because we were working together, or we just end up being in the same place or in a similar life journey at the same time. So we obviously connected. But some of these people, sometimes they are, how can I say that? They are not as advanced in their human journey as I am. They're not able to look at their own humanity and their own problems in the same way that I do. And I felt sometimes I'm meeting people, where they are at, and where they are at might not be as deep as me. And sometimes you can feel that there is a wall, or that there are so many issues going on in their head that you could be there for them. They will not be able to appreciate or see that, or they might appreciate it, but it's like shifting, or it's temporary. I felt a lot of this happening with some friends, where I feel like I was giving a lot of effort and I was really trying to be a good presence in their life. And I was also enjoying having fun with them, but I was feeling that I was becoming less and less of myself, or less and less alive, that the relationship was really taking something away from me. And this type of things can sometimes make me feel really lonely. It's like, oh, this is kind of a, yeah, like there isn't a kind of expiration date on that relationship, even though you don't necessarily want to admit it, but there is something that is that your brain is like, okay, this is not the people you should be spending your time with, and that can also be a lonely feeling. I had also a few things, even with family. Actually, family is one thing that I'm not very close to. I'm estranged from my family from many years now, and for me, it was also the same thing. It's like I was also feeling lonely because I wasn't appreciated as who I was. I wasn't given the space to develop in a way that, you know, will make me feel confident as a human being and really like safe and nurtured. All these things did not happen. I'm not saying I had a very tough childhood, but it was like more, there was nothing that would encourage that. So it's like, it's not a negative one, it's like a neutral one where at the end of the day you don't even remember because it was so flat and there was no real chance to build actually like safety in relationships and really understand how secure you can feel as well in this type of situations. And yeah, for me, there's a lot of expectations projecting on me, a lot of judgments, a lot of like people were navigating their own struggles as human beings, but instead of working on them, we're projecting this on other people and trying to find solutions in other people. And you know, for me as a person with brain on the autism spectrum, all these patterns are so obvious, all the toxicity is so obvious that I had to get away from that. And I feel this is also like something that makes me feel lonely. I think sometimes people talk about their family or them, it's like, okay, I'm like, I cannot relate to that. This is not a safe space for me. It has never been, and it's a different experience than what most people expect, I would say. I had also something with a group of people last year where I was joining. It was a community I was going to be part of for a year, and I was basically rejected by the whole group. Not like from their own doing, but from my doing, because they were putting so much pressure on me, and there was like expectations on me where I was burned out and I was really struggling, and there was so much like kind of codependency expected, a lot of again expectations, and I was really isolated in this process. I was gaslighted as well by some of the people in charge, and it really made me feel that I did not matter at all. That you know that it was really not my place. And this type of situation is like when you know you are already a little bit of the other side because you're on a diversion. Sometimes it's like, okay, I need to find places where I won't feel like this, or where people are not going to treat me like I'm on top of it, the problem for them. I feel it was a very hard situation. So yeah, there's been some, as I was saying, like people who actually made me feel lonely because of what they were projecting, because of their own way of navigating life. And I feel this is also something that has created a lot of like negative emotions around it. I feel like if you're watching this video, you're like, oh my god. Yes, I get it. Why you don't want to be around people, or why you want to be on your own? But I still somehow feel that I would really enjoy deeper relationships or better relationships. So I'm training myself to feel the need for people. I'm retraining myself. Not in a way that is really like insecure attachment, or like something that is forced, or something that is really just, oh, I just need to be around more people and let me fake it. I don't want that. I'm just trying to change my relationship with relationship building and with appreciating having better people in my life, or seeing them more often, or just find ways to enjoy myself when I'm around people. And this is taking some training. So if you are there and you're thinking, I feel lonely as well, but on the other hand, I'm actually glad that when I'm alone, and I don't know why I'm still craving relationships. I feel you. This is my space right now, and hopefully I'm sharing some of the things that I'm doing so it can also help you. But yes, the first thing I've done last year was to really enjoy working with a coach. I've been a coach myself, so I know how having safe spaces can be powerful, but it was really good there because I was going through some of the other rejections from the group I mentioned, and having someone in my corner where I was really allowed to talk about anything without filter, and also processing any emotion, but doing it in a way that was unmasked, where I did not have to pretend, where I could just say the things and look at the situation, sometimes in black and white, sometimes with more nuances. But I feel this, having this one person who I know was there and was thinking about me and was supporting me, and somebody who is trying to absorb all these things. It's not something that other people are used to. I know because I'm a coach as well, and I know that when holding the space for other people and being neutral and still being a positive presence, it takes work. That's why you pay a coach, is because it takes some specific skills. But yeah, I feel it's important for me to have like good people in my life who have the maturity and the space to hold this. And sometimes it's going to be maybe somebody that you pay, like you might have, for instance, a therapist or a coach that is that person for you, and that's just one relationship that is already working well, where you can build some of this safety and nurturing aspect, and go from there and think, okay, I know a few people now. I have at least one person in my life who is behaving like this. they can be more. I think this is for the brain. It's really, really good. I feel I'm also looking now for more really quality people and not letting go of the people who I know are quality rather than quantity. There are not so many people in my life who I would say fit that description. There are a few, and actually, I realized recently that I'm always surprised because sometimes they come visit London and they say, "Hey, I want to see you," and I'm always surprised that they want to spend time with me, and that made me really sad to say this out loud because it's like, yes, of course they want to spend time with you, like why not? Like you are friends with them, of course they want to see you, but yeah, I really welcome these people and I really try to make time for them as much as possible and to really enjoy the time with them. And I think this is another part of what I'm trying is like to share more because I feel it's a difference to like I don't necessarily feel safe in connections where there is no depth. Like when in connection, somebody's asking you, "Oh, are you okay?" and you just chit chat about the weather and life, and you don't really speak about the real way you are feeling or the real situations in your life. For me, it's like it actually kills me inside, and it's like it doesn't make me feel safe. I want that. Tell me about one thing you're struggling with. I don't know, but I feel like some of this connection and the loneliness as well that came from some of the previous relationship I mentioned is because it's either superficial or it's a shit ton of expectations, and it's not a relationship or connection that is actually meaningful where I feel that oh, I met that person and we had this time together, and this was time that I would say was a good part of my life. I feel this is really what is missing, and I realize it's also for me to share more and to be able to bring that depth as well. I like role model it. If I want to have people in my life who are a little bit more open to deeper topics and really talking about the reality of humanity, then I need also to role model that and speak like this and open these spaces when I'm with them. So I feel it's it's something that I'm changing because I used to be more like on the playful side and sharing one thing, but don't go too deep to not bother people. And I feel this needs to change as well. Another thing that I'm doing, and this is like completely outside of relationship, is to do more. Well, it's relationship with myself. Doing more creativity, doing more spiritual work. I feel that if I'm able to create a safe space for myself and really be grounded by other things than human beings, whether it's like being in nature or animals or just like something that really inspires me, and I'm able to be in a good space, then I can be a better me around people. And then, it also helps creating better relationships. So this is another part. Outside of finding very safe people I can spend my time around, working on really quality people and sharing more and more depth. It's also doing the work on me, on like, I don't want to say self-love, but I want to say just like coming from a place where I feel really grounded, where I feel that really I can be, if I can be safe with myself just walking out there in the world, then people around me can feel safe as well. Or if I have a good energy and I feel grounded, then the overstimulation I get from people is not always there, and that makes things easier as well. So this has been a few things that I'm just trying to navigate loneliness and trying to find a way to, as I was saying, to actually need people, because I feel this is the next step for me. It's in terms of growth, if I was looking at all my life, like there are areas where I know I need to do better, but this is the one where I'm feeling like, okay, there is another level of possibilities there that you have not explored yet, and there is things to discover about yourself and about other people. So yeah, this is how I'm navigating feeling okay alone but still wanted better relationships. So kind of like leveraging loneliness in a way that is helpful for me. And I'm curious to see how you're doing that, if you ever saw this type of feeling about, yeah, but I'm very nice alone, leave me, I don't want to see people for days. But then you're like, I also crave a little bit of people from time to time with good conversations and good relationships. Let me know how you're navigating that. And if you don't know me, my name is Chloe, and I'm doing daily videos on YouTube where I talk about everything that I need to create a great 40s to 50s years. And I'm still learning, I'm still building, I'm still understanding different aspects of myself and different parts of my life, particularly relationships. So if you want to follow that journey, you can sign up to the channel down below, and I will see you tomorrow for another video.